Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kebicho, PhD, QB, HSC official YouTube channel. And today, my subject of discussion will be purely based on what we call why you fail, why you are failing in your endeavor, why you have not been able to succeed in your life despite your spirited effort. What makes you as a person to fail? We all fail in one way or another. Many of us people, even those who have succeeded in life, in one way or another, they fail. But the difference between those who fail and those who succeed purely lies between your 2 ears. So whatever is in between, I'm telling you this as somebody who has actually been talking to many people, and I thought it is important. I believe I have spoken about this aspect of people failing because failure is not failure. I've been telling people success is a father to many, but failure is an orphan. Nobody likes to be associated with failure. Believe you me, nobody in the entire universe likes to be associated with failure. But the moment you do something extraordinary, the moment you stand out of the crowd, people talk about you. There are those who talk about you not because they love you, but because they have no other option. And I think that is what we call now becoming indispensable at your area of specialty. So what makes people to fail? Some of us people, we fail deliberately, consciously we fail. And I'm saying this without fear, that some of us people, we fail deliberately. What do I mean by failing deliberately? You know what ought to be done, but you don't do it. God has given you 10 acres of land, but you don't till the land. And you go there talking and telling people that you are waiting to harvest. How do you harvest somewhere that you have not planted? You reap what you sow. So most of us people, we are out there talking, and that is what we call chasing the weeds. Literally chasing the weed. Because if you have to succeed, there are some principles that must be followed by all of us so that we may get better results than those who have done it in the past. So what makes us people to fail? What makes us people to fail? And I'm here to give you some reasons why people fail. And I'm calling upon all of you, for those people who may get this information. Sometimes, when we are talking to people, we touch their own nerve. Touching their own nerve basically means that you are going to sometimes either impact on somebody negatively by virtue of them being victims of circumstances being discussed, others by virtue of remaining in the status of inertia. I can tell you this for free without fear of anything, that all of us know that in order for us to succeed, we must pay the price in terms of managing our time, in terms of managing our affairs, in terms of managing our resources, in terms of planning, in terms of having a strategic plan, in terms of mobilizing and marshalling resources to areas that are more profitable, and in terms of actually managing what we call the overall affairs of ourselves. So you fail because you are afraid to stand out among the crowd. There are people who fail. One man called Mr. Emerson, he said these words: society everywhere is in conspiracy against the self-reliance of every one of its members. So most of us people, we tend to think that by virtue of shining, we'll expose ourselves to what we call a lot of either ridicule or a lot of audit, or as long as you are succeeding by doing the right thing, which does not contravene the Constitution. As far as you're doing what ought to be done, you should know that people don't like it when other people change or do something that makes them feel awkward or insecure. When you start doing well, there are those people who basically inhibit their position of excellence by virtue of capturing the inspirations of other people. For me, I don't mind what people say about me. If what I'm doing is right and legal, I'll do it, because these are the same people who were with Jesus Christ. So the moment you take a path that you know that the ultimate goal will be succeeding, go for it. And don't even don't consider what people will say about you. And I've been asking people a very simple question. If today I talk about Sir Isaac Newton, we all know what Sir Isaac Newton did. If I talk about Archimedes, we all know what Archimedes did. If I talk about Mansa Musa, we all know what these guys did. Those guys, they excelled where others had failed. Why? Because they did what other people don't like doing. So if you are willing to succeed and to surpass your performance in the past, you must stop this element of thinking about what people think about you. Because by the end of the day, you are you as an individual. So one of the things that makes us people to fail miserably is this aspect of refusing to stand above the cloud or to stand out in the cloud. The other thing that makes us people not to succeed in life, we are not persistent enough. You try something once and you despair. Let me tell you, this life is not for the faint-hearted. You have to stand firm. You have to remain focused to what you're doing. You may fail the first time, the second time, maybe on the fourth time you make it. And I've been talking about Thomas Edison many times. Thomas Edison is the father of the bulb, the bulbs that we use to light our homes and offices. If this guy gave up, he tried 9,999 times without giving up. So if this guy gave up like most of us people do, if you're not persistent enough, you end up losing the bigger benefits. And that is why it is said, persistence wears out resistance. Persistence wears out resistance. So keep trying. You have never seen any time the water decides to flow downwards, or any time the water gets its course, it does not matter the stumbling blocks ahead. The river must finally find itself draining water to the various oceans. That is what we call being persistent. If you're not persistent in life, you are going to fail miserably in life. And most of us people, we have failed in life because we are not persistent. I remember when I started selling insurance, people gave me all manner of, they gave me all vague, let me call them vague. They gave me vague reasons and they tried to show me as much that it was an area where many had ventured and had failed. I said, was I the one who had failed? Those who are the failures, not me. You should not let people define who you are. You should not let people define your destiny. The destiny belongs to you, not anybody else. So do not let people, you are the only one who knows your potential. As a matter of fact, people may judge you wrongly because as far as they are concerned, they are not you. You are yourself. You are yourself as an individual. And therefore, if you are going to get results, do not factor the input of those outsiders who sometimes bring their element of failure and actually we call them as non-starters, inertia, to your thinking, because by the end of the day, they cause you to fail. So be persistent and do what ought to be done. The other thing that makes us people to fail, it is because we lack humility. Some people have asked me even at my level, Kebisha, you mean you still sell insurance? And I wonder, when somebody asks me whether I'm still selling insurance, was it illegal in the first place? Is it a bad thing that I'm doing? Does it mean that insurance must be sold by failures and quacks? So I'm a professional insurance person. And there is no way I can betray my profession that made me to be the person I am. And that is why the Bible says, do not despise your humble beginnings. So if I was to listen to some individuals, if I was to get drunk by my education, because most of us people, we lose it in life because of lack of humility. The Bible says, be meek, be humble, and God will lift you up. So the other question begs, for instance, if you have been selling milk and that milk has made you to be a billionaire, you have become a billionaire because of selling milk. Why do you want somebody to come and tell you to do something else that has never given you the output and the results that you're enjoying? So forget about those people who come giving you stories that don't add up. So just be humble, and God is going to open eyes for you. Humility is key. When you start your business, it has some shortcomings. Sometimes when you start a business, it doesn't pick up immediately. So one of the things that you must do, humble yourself, get to understand people, and do what ought to be done, and do things out of the ordinary. Then still, the other thing that makes people to fail is that they do not rely on social capital. What is social capital? Anytime you meet a group of people, 3, 4, 10, 20, let them know what it is that you're doing. By disclosing what you do, amongst the people that you meet, there are those who are going to patronize your services. I always say what I do. Some people think I'm proud, and I have no apologies to them, by the way. And I'll never apologize to any human being in any forum, in any nature, because that is me. Because why should I be apologetic for my existence? I shouldn't. Let people know what you do. I say I sell my books. I'm an author. I've written 13 books. And many more. I've written several books. I talk about it. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a financial consultant. I'm a business consultant. I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I say all what I do. Amongst that catalog of things that I do, somebody gets interested to know what it is that I do. In the process, I get a business. It is because we fail to network and build strong relationships that we fail miserably. And if the people that you are associating with are actually broke all the time. That you are now trying to cast your net where you know there will be no fish. Who is fooling who? You are fooling yourself. Identify strong networks, strong relationships, and use them to take you to the next level. So if you fail to network and build strong relationships with the people that you meet, then you will still stagnate in life and will be treading on a treadmill. Get my word? Because I want all of you people to move out of that. Again, something else that makes people to fail in life. You fail because you'd rather argue against advice instead of taking it. I have seen people trying to compete with me in terms of my ideas. When you try to compete with my ideas that have been proven and tested, you're not failing Kebicho Pasi. You are failing yourself. If you go arguing with a teacher in class, a teacher who has gone through a process to become a teacher, it is not the teacher who will fail in the long run. It is you, because the teacher has experience, the teacher has wide scope of knowledge. You can only argue, and by the end of the day, don't diffuse, don't form this attitude that you know everything that the person is going to say. So one thing that blocks people and makes them to fail is failing because they would rather argue against advice instead of taking it. So if I advise you, my brother, my sister, you are now 50 years of age. You have 10 years if you're a government employee or if you're privately employed. So if you don't have any cash right now and you're 50, there will be no miracle to be performed until you to become a rich man between now and 60 years. So the only thing that you need to do now is to take radical decisions of mobilizing your resources and putting them where building something for you, so that by the time you are hitting 60 years, you have something to call your own. Otherwise, you have wasted a whole, assuming you got employed at 25 years, you have already wasted 25 years doing things that don't add up. So if you don't take my advice, personally, I have no regrets. The problem will be you. Because when I'm telling you this, I have already seen and done a research that has given me the findings that makes me to, or warrant me to have this confidence of sharing the information with you. So if you don't take my advice, because some people think that when they object an idea, they know more. They happen to be they know it all. You fail in life miserably. The other thing that has made many people to fail in life is that they become too distracted. Distracted means you have no time for yourself. You have no time for your business. You opened your business last year and you're all over. You're a helter-skelter here and there. You're moving all over without even understanding the ropes of the game. So you see, because when you get distracted to do things that do not add value to your enterprise, you lose it. So you require to concentrate, avoid distractions. When people give you appointments that don't add up, don't show up. You don't have to show up everywhere. It is only God who is omnipresent. You can't be everywhere in life. So decide what you want to do. Because the moment you get distracted, you lose focus of what you wanted to do in the first place. So another cause of failure is what we call distraction. And that one you can avoid. Many people fail because they don't take responsibility for what happens in their life. Some people are don't care. I have seen so many don't care. How do you take beer and how do you take 20 bottles of beer and you drive a car home, saying that the car knows it's home? That's what we call arguing from a platform of devastation. You have completely lost the longitudes and latitudes of your life because you are actually deliberately taking yourself to suicide, committing suicide literally. So you see, you fail because you have refused to take responsibility of your life. You are 100% responsible for your life. Nobody will be responsible for your life. Go and take beer, indulge yourself in other ugly, obscene activities. We normally say that the results will be known. So you can't afford to be reckless in 21st century. You can't afford to be extravagant in 21st century. I don't expect you to behave so irresponsibly, and you expect later on in life to have succeeded. No, they are basic conventional principles of success. So we fail because we do not take responsibility for what happens in our lives. So if we want to succeed, again, we must take responsibility for our lives 100%. I hope somebody is getting what I'm saying. I can see that some of you are looking at me. You fail because you don't believe it is possible. On Saturday on Inolo FM, I was talking about moving impossible to possible. It's about what is between your 2 years. Let me tell you all this. You have to start somewhere to know what we call to know your level of tenacity and velocity. Wake up early in the morning. If other men and women have made money, by waking up early in the morning to go to the markets or to do whatever they do, which is legit. You need to do that as well. So we fail because we don't believe it can be done. Let me tell you, the body has been wired in such a way by the maker that whatever you feed it on, that is whatever it gives you. You can't plant tomatoes and you expect to harvest what we call bananas. You actually utafuna ulishopanda. So the moment you start planting that seed of impossibility, the angels of the universe conspires and they make you to see it even more impossible. So the best thing to say is to say like what Obama said, yes, you can. Yes, I can. If others have made it in life, why not me? Do not bring this stereotyping that maybe somebody bewitched you. Nobody has bewitched you. It is you and your thoughts that have bewitched yourself to be where you are. Get out of those kind of thoughts and progress in life, because that basically is the only way that you'll be able to move on to the next level. The other thing, you fail because you are afraid to care. You fail because you're afraid to care. Let me tell you, success can be defined in so many ways. I have even written a book on success, demystifying success, because success is relative. Success is individually defined. You define somebody today who has built a 2-bedroomed house, a mad world 2-bedroomed house. To him, by all standards, that is success. And we appreciate at his level that is success. Whereas you have somebody who has built we refer to them as condominium. A condominium is a building worth that effect $100, and to him also that is success. Whereas we have others with shames of those kind of buildings. So if you are afraid to care, why do I talk about caring? For instance, I know, I have got maybe 10 years to go to 60 years. So what am I doing so that by the time I'm hitting 60, I don't become a liability to my children? I'm putting my house into order now so that by the time I'm 60 years, I'll be comfortable. My passive income will warrant me to lead a normal life without becoming a bother to others, because I care about I have duty to care, because nobody else will care for me. I have said you are 100% responsible for your life. I've been telling people of a couple of months, 2 months ago, let us start saving money for what we call a holiday. So that in December, I want to salute those people who have saved a lot of money with us. We opened what we call Quest Pinnacle Holiday Savings Account. For those people putting that money, God willing, holding all things constant, ceteris paribus, in December they'll have accumulated enough money to enjoy the holiday or to do whatever it is that they're intending to do. Whereas those people who don't care, who don't even bother about their lives, they'll be gnashing their teeth. The choice is yours. So you must become realistic with your life. Finally, you fail because deep down, you don't think you deserve what you want. So you see, you're becoming a problem. Deep down, your systems, your wiring in your body system surely says, I don't deserve to be, you don't deserve to drive a good car. You don't deserve to live in a good suburb. You don't, the moment you start telling your body that you don't deserve A, B, C, D, that becomes the genesis of your failure. So if you're there and you're interested in knowing a few things about what you need to do to succeed in life, if you want to go to where some of us people have reached anyway without pride, and even if it is termed as pride, nobody cares anyway. I don't give a damn, because I'll remain Dr. Kebisho, Professor Kebisho, or Wakili Kebisho, or Kebisho, Artist Kebisho. I have sung personally for those who know me. Mimi ni mwimbaji wa nyimbo za Mungu. Mimi ni mwandishi wa vitabu. Mimi ni mtu wa biashara, mambo ya fedha na kila kitu. And I tell God thank you, because God has given us the freedom to choose. So if you choose to be a mediocre, you remain a mediocre until God comes. Even the grave will receive a mediocre. But the moment you say, I was not born a mediocre, I was not born a mediocrity for that matter, I'm going to redefine my life. I'm going to take what we call a total paradigm mental shift. I'm going to do things differently this year, because I have told you in the past, new mindset, new results. God offers you the platform of excellence. The choice is yours. Wherever you are, if you're interested in knowing more, the secrets of succeeding in life and how to make it in life, please don't hesitate to take your phone, drop me a text on 0722 63021. Drop me a text on 0722 63021. I'm one man who believes nothing is impossible. In this universe, nothing is impossible. I was born and brought up in a forest called Kiadogoro Forest, 18 kilometers west of Nyeri town. I was brought up in a grass-thatched house. I was walking more than 64 kilometers daily in pursuit of my education. Today I drive where I want to go. I've driven from 1994, and I thank God for that. And this is not without prejudice. Yes, the same person who was working and being sent home for school fees balances is the one who wears now designers' clothes. Is the one who wears designers' watches. Why? Because I refused to become a prisoner of the circumstances I first found myself in. So if you are to succeed, you must refuse to become a prisoner of the circumstances you have been in. You have always been broke. What are you doing apart from singing and coming up with the chorus that I'm always broke? Can't you break the chain of being broke by doing things differently? If you think the kind of friends that you have are actually becoming a liability in your life, who tells you that you must have them? I have no apologies to make. I have dropped many friends along the way. If you don't add value to me, are you cotton or are you gold? Cotton occupies the biggest space, but it has no value compared to gold. So I've identified what gold is in my life. I know men and women who can add value to me. These are the people I work with. Therefore, if you realize that I don't have a lot of time with you, it is by doing what we call value analysis that makes me to define and to chart my way so that I don't become part and parcel of mediocrity. The choice is yours. Thank you very much. This has been Dr. Paul Kebicho, PhD QB HSC official YouTube channel. If you are interested in knowing more, and I'm telling you this, and I thank God for the fact the Lord has brought me, and I'm telling you the sky is no longer the limit. We can even now start clashing what we call the layers within. If people, you can imagine, if in the year 1968, Neil Armstrong was able to go to the moon, and we had no sophisticated GPRS, the global positioning radio systems. We had no satellites of what the nature that we have, the nature and the sophistication of the tools that we have. What are you telling me? If men and women are treating patients all the way from St. Hopkins Hospital in Maryland, and a patient is being operated here in Nairobi Hospital, or you look at the distance notwithstanding, what are you telling me? So it's all about your attitude and the way you think and the way you perceive things. Anyway, the choice is yours. If you want to remain the club of mediocrity, remain there anyway. Every face in life must have its congregation. We have congregation who are deemed to be cast to be failures and poor men and women by choice. We have others who are in the middle, and we have others at the top of the pyramid. The choice is yours. Decide where you want to be, but you must pay the price. And what Kenyans avoid doing is paying the price. You have seen other parents' children being sent home for school fees balances, and you are still eating money with your wife there without planning for your children's education. Are you okay? Honestly, are you okay? Are you bewitched that you can comfortably sit with your wife in the house in the evening? You eat nyamashoma, you take beer, and you go out in Mombasa or maybe in Zanzibar or Kigali, and you have not planned for your children's education, and you call yourself normal. Something is not adding up. A prudent parent plans in advance. You see your wife pregnant and you think she has consumed baking powder for her stomach to have protruded like that, and you are busy consuming beer along beer bypass, buying new suits, buying new cars, and you have not saved any money, and you have no savings, and whatever you have is on loan, and your wife is pregnant here and you're doing nothing about it. Something is wrong with you. You have 50 years and you have no piece of land of your own. You are still renting a house at age 55, 60, and you have no money in your account, and you think life will be bearable for you unless you are bewitched. You are there and you are doing the same things that you did last year, and you are hoping that year 2020 or 2024 will be better unless you are bewitched. You have to change the approach to life. Anyway, the choice is yours. And I have told you, and this is what I always end up my show with. Between birth and death, we have letter C. Between birth and death or destination, we have letter C. It is the choices that you make in life that defines whom you become. And deep within men and women lies a lot of power that can revolutionize the entire of your life if you put your mind and body in the right shape and in right motion. May God bless you. Always a pleasure talking to you. This has been Dr. Paul Kebicho, PhD, QB, HSC, official YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe, invite more. There are more than 1,000 videos on my YouTube platform. I thank God for those who have subscribed. More lies ahead. More lies ahead. May God bless you. I hope you have picked something on today's topic. I look forward to seeing you some other times. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick Kehiu, tuned. Then we have the voice of Reason Radio Kenya. I'm keenly following mining knowledge. Thank you very much. Continue mining knowledge. It doesn't, personally, I don't take pride by keeping quiet to the knowledge that God has given me. Huyo ni upusi. Hiyo watu wengine wakiwa wasomi kama sisi wanajifanyaga ni kama wanalala mbinguni. Huyo ni upusi. Na mimi sina wasiwasi nikisema ni upusi. And you know me, I don't give a damn. You know, I normally remind people that before I met them, they were never part of my problem. Neither will they be. That is that's what you're having. That is the fibe I have. Positive fibe. And nothing will stop me from achieving what I want. In life, God has given us the freedom to choose. Shalom, shalom, shalom.